Osaka, Japan is known for its food, and so it can actually be daunting to navigate. There is so much good food, but I've put together 7 can't miss food places spread around the city, so you will have an amazing time visiting them and your tummy will be so happy. Hi, I'm Stacy Trock. I'm a world traveler, a tour guide here in Sydney, and a mom. So all of the places that I'm going to be sharing with you are also kid-friendly. They're adult-friendly too. They're fantastic. Okay. Let's get started. I'm already drooling. Okay, focus, Stacy. So these are in no particular order. Number 1, Gyukatsu. So Osaka is next to Kobe. You've probably heard of Kobe beef. Overseas in Australia or the US, it's known as Wagyu because it's like champagne, only cows that grow up in Kobe can be called Kobe beef. This is the finest, most marbled, hand massaged beef that you've had in your life. And overseas, we're used to paying a premium for it. Super expensive. In Osaka, it's not that expensive. Mind-blowing, I know. So Gyukatsu is a place that has Kobe beef that is grilled. It's cooked very slightly, and then you get a piece and you grill it at your tabletop with like sizzling coals.
Okay, we take it.
Yeah. Which side do I put it on?
Either side.
So good. So here's how it works. First, you want to line up early. Maddie and I got there at 11 a.m. because that's when it opens, and the rest of the day you will be waiting in a line for hours. You get there early, there's no reservations, you wait in the line. There's only about, I'd say like 20 places to sit down. And so you go in, you sit down. There's really only one thing to order. That's the gyukatsu. And you pick how large of a piece you want. So you can get a ½ kilogram, like 500 grams, that would be like a pound. And then it comes with rice and miso soup. This is great for kids because neither me nor Maddie eats a lot. So we ordered the second to smallest size and we're able to split it. And that's completely fine and completely legit. So we go, you sit down, the waitress brings out like a little tabletop grill, sets it up, and then the meat is sliced and you grill it yourself. This is a fantastic experience. It's so much fun. Kids love it. And you get to cook the meat the way that you like to have it. Different people at your table can cook their own darn meat the way they want to have it. Whew, everyone wins. And the food is absolutely delicious. It's so good we went twice. That's the sign of a really good place, and it's not that expensive. So I think all up, a meal per person is about $20 or so US, not breaking the bank for what you are getting. Fantastic. I don't know if I can beat number 1, but the other places are really good too, I promise. Number 2 is Katsudon Yoshibei Namba. This is in Namba. That's why Namba's in the name, which is a district of Osaka. This place I happened upon by chance, and it is the best broth I've ever had. Well, it's tied for the best broth I've ever had. The other one was a French broth in the Dordogne. Definitely tied. Can't decide. Don't make me pick. So this is a regional delicacy, and it's broth that's made from beef tendon. It is so flavorful. This is another hole in the wall. I'm going to post links to all of them below. If the restaurant doesn't have a website, I'll put the Google Maps link so you can find it. This is in Dotonbori. You can easily walk to it, not sending you anywhere where you're going to get lost. Okay, Katsudon Yoshibei. It's also a small place, probably has like 12 seats at a bench. You order on a kiosk and it doesn't look very assuming. It's unassuming, but the broth is so good. Really amazing tips. 1, you can order extra dredge. Ooh, what's that, Stacy? It's little cooked tendony bits. So all of the stuff that gives the broth the flavor extra bits of it float to the top and are all fried and yummy and whatever, and you can get extra of those for like $1. Yes, do that. 2, this is another great place for kids because they have like a small soba or a small udon for like $2, right? So this is so good. You go, you sit at a bench, you get the best soup of your life. Highly recommend. 3. Okay, the next 3 I have are all yakis, and you will see lots of these. So I'll say the yakis now, and then I'll hit them in order. So taiyaki, okonomiyaki, and takoyaki. 3. Taiyaki. These are fish-shaped pastries that are like fried kind of on the outside, like roasted on the outside, and then they have red bean paste in the middle. I have a taiyaki place. I'm going to put it in the notes below because they're so good and so consistent, and they have such high volume that they're always cooking them fresh, which is what you want. You don't want a soggy taiyaki, like no one wants that. They also have other fillings. Listen, you do you. You get the filling you want. I'm in love with the red bean filling. Word of warning. So these things, they're cooked, like the filling is in there, it's hot. When they're fresh, you're going to want to bite it right away. They're really hot. You're probably going to burn your mouth if you're like me. I did it a couple times. I was having taiyaki like every day. They're only like $3 or something. They are so good and they're so fresh, and I probably burned my mouth twice. Listen, I warned you. Just because you know what's going to happen doesn't mean you'll prevent it. These are dessert things, so you can slip them in multiple times a day, after lunch, after dinner, whenever. Listen, I don't judge. 4, sorry, okonomiyaki. So okonomiyaki is a regional dish that basically, I mean, it means something like however you like it. It is stuff in like a omelette-y, pancakey batter. And so there are lots of okonomiyaki places. I can post a link to the one that I really loved, but that's not to say, you know, it's better than any of the other ones. It just happened to be along the river in Osaka, and also like let you cook it on your plate, which is really fun. You know, kids love that kind of stuff. So okonomiyaki, it usually has cabbage. It usually has a meat. You can have them vegetarian too, like prawns or pork or whatever. And then you can add in whatever other vegetables. These are all choices that you make when ordering. So, you know, mushrooms, whatever. It all gets mixed into a batter, and then the chef pours it, whatever, onto a griddle, and it cooks. Okay, they flip it. So it's like a really, really thick pancake, super yummy. And then the traditional toppings are like a sweet, almost kind of like the eel sauce that you'll get on sushi, Kewpie mayo, it's everywhere in Japan, and then bonito fish flakes. And so you'll have it, it'll be like this big, and then you slice it like a pizza and eat it. Knife and fork, chopsticks, however you want to eat it. This is another great family meal to have because you can share a big one. You can share it with different people. You can order, you know, it's like how you order pizzas. You can share them amongst yourselves and you don't have to worry about getting a specific kids meal or something like that. Takoyaki. So takoyaki are freaking everywhere. Okay, taco means, T-A-K-O, taco means octopus. And when you walk around Osaka, it's octopus everything. You can get octopus socks, you can get octopus hats, everything's octopus. Yay! And takoyaki are these little balls that are like fried, not deep fried, like pan fried in these little molds. They're almost like donut holes from Dunkin' Donuts, if you ever had that, except with octopus and not sweet. Super yummy. I also think of them as like baby okonomiyaki, so it's the same sort of like batter concept with meat inside, and you eat them with the sweet sauce on top. You can find these everywhere. If you walk down Dotonbori, you will see many, many takoyaki vendors, and you can tell what they're selling because there's a giant octopus everywhere, but also the mold is little balls. Like you can see them turning it and cooking them. You want them fresh. Word of warning though, you want them fresh, but also not at a place that is so under pressure that they're pumping them out too fast. The only bad food experience I had in Japan was undercooked takoyaki that were like raw in the middle, and I think it was just because the place was like trying to get them out so fast and not keep people waiting. I consulted with a few Japanese friends who said that raw and doughy in the middle is how some people like them. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I can claim that's a bad food experience or not. Apparently some people like it that way and it's normal. So it is what it is. But anyway, usually they're super delicious. Chano-ma Chayamachi. Chano-ma Chayamachi. This one made the list because it was for 3 reasons. 1, near the train station. Ha! I'm sending you to a new suburb. 2, vegetables. There's so much meat in Japan and I love vegetables. And 3, just like a really calming atmosphere. So both Tokyo and Osaka are intense, and me and Maddie had an itinerary. We wanted to see everything. We were going everywhere. You know, you can go to an Okonomiyaki restaurant and it's like people are everywhere, people are talking, and you reach a point where you get a little frazzled in your trip. And so we went to I'm reading. I'm not going to even pretend I'm not reading. Chano-ma Chayamachi. I'll put a link, don't worry about it. Near the train station, the Shin-Osaka train station. And this place was just serenity. It looked like a super, super fancy place. You know, sometimes you go in and you're like, oh crap, should I be here? But it wasn't very expensive. It was just nice. Like a lot of Japanese people just there with their girlfriend, or they took their mom, or it was just like you could tell it was just a nice, calm place. Locals went. The dishes were all small vegetable, and they had meat ones too. Just came out on small platters, and you could pick to have seats that were all like bench seats. So me and Maddie sat on what it felt like a lounge bed, just cross-legged, all white. I don't know how they keep these things white, and with curtains around us, pillows, and we had our lovely little miso soup and our different cooked vegetables, and it was just beautiful and calm and peaceful. So that's a high recommend. Something different and something where the locals are as well, because I also have this feeling sometimes you're traveling around and you're just with a bunch of tourists and you're like, where am I? So it's nice to go somewhere where Japanese people are actually eating. Number 7. I'm cheating with this one. Sorry. It's not technically in Osaka. It's in Nara, but many people when they're visiting Osaka do a day trip to Nara, and so I'm throwing this one in. And there's a good story behind it. So it is called Tsukihiboshi. So I'll do the story first and then I'll tell you about this restaurant. I already alluded to we were dense with people. So we go to Nara because we were on a train back from a baseball game. I have a separate post about going to a baseball game in Japan. And the train was decorated like deer fields. So there was fake green grass on the ground. There were deer everywhere because Nara is a town that's really famous for deer. And Maddie was like, I want to go see the deer. Okay, cool. I'll do a separate post about how to see the deer because, man, those deer are aggressive and there are things you need to know, but whatever. We went, we saw the deer. Nara is also the old capital of Japan, and it's modeled off of Xi'an in China. It is absolutely gorgeous. There are so many historical temples. It's beautiful. It also means that it is the epicenter for tourists, and they're all doing the day trip thing, and they're all in the same space. So we had taken the trip from Osaka, and we are just in this throng of tourists. There are European tourists, there are Chinese tourists, there are American tourists, there are Australian tourists, and they're all like trying to find their lost child and be like, hey, should we stop at this souvenir shop? And everyone is yelling in this one little like narrow corridor to see this temple. And I was like, I just am hungry and I need to stop somewhere that's not a tourist trap and that has food in a quiet place. And I kid you not, because I have done well and raised a genius, Maddie says, hey, how about we eat at this place? and it looks like a house. It doesn't even look like a restaurant. And it is, I'm putting it down as my favorite restaurant in our entire trip in Japan. So this place is a pickle buffet. I know it sounds weird. You may not be as passionate about pickles as I am, but the Japanese, I'm pulling a book off of my bookshelf, actually have a really serious history of pickling. So preserving things in vinegar. They also preserve things in soy husk. Ooh, interesting. I know. So there's lots of different ways to make pickles, and pickles are not just like a cucumber. No, 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 no. So you will learn in Tsukihiboshi that pickles, anything can be pickled. There were potatoes. There was seaweed, there were cucumbers, there were mushrooms, there was cabbage. There were over 20 different kinds of pickles. There were daikon, there were carrots, so many pickles. And like I said, we had had a meat-heavy week. This pickle buffet was so good and so beautiful and so quiet and without tourists. And along with your pickles, you get miso soup, you get rice, and you get little taiyakis, which I already told you previously I like, and this is all you can eat. It is heaven. And so we came from the frazzled outside into this oasis of calm with all you can eat pickles. Osaka. Absolutely fantastic place to go. I am going to put all of these maps, locations, or the website of the place itself in the description of the video below. I really, really hope that you visit these and enjoy them as much as I did. If you have other ones, please do let me know, because I'm going back and I want to eat more food, and really nothing's better than eating food when you're traveling. I hope you have a great trip, and feel free to drop any questions below too. See ya!